for the rest of the round. If that runs out, you're going to get an auto pick from the website. Countess once again going to be the main ban for Bronze Army. Not changing up too much so far. Maelstrom looking to maybe pick off. They banned out Cranky Crashcan's Grux last time. The question is, are they going to let him get it this time? Or are they going to try and priority ban something else? Because Taboo did a lot of work that game.
It depends if they want Ephra Legend to get a different jungler. Maybe they want the Grux for themselves or the Rampage even. So they might leave all the junglers up and maybe might go for like a Howitzer ban. I wouldn't be surprised. Take that off Taboo. He was one of the main factors for Bronze Army's win, and maybe forcing him onto a different hero. Yeah, he's probably still going to be incredibly strong with them, but mix it up. Make him miss a few minions. Like, you've probably just been playing Howitzer now. A lot of these players are skilled, but just make them change it a little bit. Make them change their strategy, what they want to do. But nope, they're going to stick with that Grux. They do not want Cranky to play it. Yeah,
and they're actually going to use most of their extra time just to get that one. So if they have a hard time making a decision, they're going to be very pressed, and it's going to add pressure on the team captain to make those new drafts. Could create an interesting situation because you don't want the system to pick for you. That could end very poorly. We're going to see Bronze Army following up once again with the Rampage Rampage pick. So like we said, a lot of the players are going to have their set picks, their comfort picks. And if in the first game you're able to dominate, why not use it in the second game? What works, right?
Yeah, they have no reason to change. Like, they won with this composition. They won with this pick and ban order. They forced Maelstrom to then probably still go for the Sevrog pick, maybe even Quang jungle, if we see Ephra Legend playing it. But again, I don't think Maelstrom's going to want to change either. I really think Bellica phase, if they go for it again, is incredibly strong. They just weren't able to utilize it throughout the match in the first game.
I wouldn't be very surprised if the team comps are actually very, very similar. We're seeing Maelstrom once again playing with fire as that time left is ticking down 3 seconds every single time. They're not for the Narbash this time. Instead of the phase, it's going to leave phase and Decker and Howitzer all open for the pick coming for the Bronze Army. The question is, what do they exactly want to do with it? Oh, they're going out for the Decker. And there's the Howitzer.
Yeah, Bronze Army have no reason to change. Like I said before, strong team fighting composition that worked incredibly well for them. We saw Cranky Trashcan doing incredibly well throughout the game. And again, it's going to be fine for them to have that. They're going to be incredibly happy to get the same composition they had before. Maelstrom actually taking away the Greystone. So Bronze Army now have to get a slightly different offlaner. But Maelstrom, again, having a really strong. They go for the Quang jungle instead, mixing it up a little bit, which I really like to see.
I'm not too sure, but I'm not too sure on the Quang pick because right now having a priority frontliner like a Rampage and Sevrog is key. And that's something we didn't, well, we saw the Sevrog and Maelstrom last game. Jaffer wasn't able to actually flex or utilize the Sevrog appropriately. Just Bronze Army was all over him, especially in the early game. Like, invade that Sevrog. He doesn't have the same pressure that other people do. You know, like, that jungle clear is going to hurt him because he's got to line up the minions in order to get the stacks up early game. And that's going to take a little extra damage.
It's an extra offlaner now that Bronze Army don't have to pick. They now have to go for maybe a less tankier offlaner.
They picked phase.
At the moment, it looks like it might be phase, yeah. It might be phase offlane with this composition, the double support comp. Just going to keep Twin Blast alive indefinitely. However, that can be heavily punished if phase is the offlaner for this composition, unless it might be Deca because she has a bit more survivability. Again, it's really hard to actually get power in that lane, and incredibly hard to get the points you need. And you can't take the white camps either. The clear to take those jungle camps for those two supports is incredibly rough.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard time. Interesting team fight capability from Bronze Army. Let's see how this works out because we don't see a lot double support comps into the competitive scene, but I'm really excited to see how this one plays out. We are seeing Maelstrom in the last pick, Yin, following up on that one. If they're going for the Yin, I think a phase would have been really nice to have the follow-up on that one, especially because the cooldown reduction and the attack speed buff on Phase's ultimate just kind of turbocharges Yin, and she's just cleaving through everything. You don't want to be near that.
The thing is, Twin Blast does the same thing. He can get that right click on a really low cooldown. The grenades being reset every second with the right click, insane amounts of damage.
I don't think you can click that fast in order to utilize that to its full potential.
Yeah, the animations are, you have to literally wait out the animations to be able to do it. But again, also Rampage getting that extra mana means he can jump, he can use the boulder yet again, time and time again, which is pretty insane as well.
It's overall, it's going to be a very exciting match. We have a little change up. We're seeing a double support comp. We have Maelstrom on the on their back foot. They need to get themselves forward in order to you know, even progress. Yeah. You know, they need to bring this to game 3, and game 2 is how they have to do it. You know, basic math, right?
It does. And are you ready to hop into game number 2 of our best of 3 between Bronze Army and Maelstrom?
Let's do this! All right, ready, Gems?
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we are in game, guys, and I'll just quickly transfer over there, and we are ready to go. Starting game 2 of the best of 3 between Bronze Army and Team Maelstrom. Gonna wait it out before we introduce everyone formally because we saw a heavy invade early on last game. We are seeing the teams group up as 5 in the lanes once again, and they're going straight down mid. So there is vision from the tower that the teams are doing this. You can see that happening, right?
But they do have a Narbash this time instead of a phase. That thunk can be incredibly impactful.
Lebanese kid caught out with a ward. The rock is hovering. It will be able to drop, wasting Cranky's mana. He does get it off though, and whoa! Bursted from half health to 0 will be the Narbash. Joshua running away on phase, trying to live as After chases him down, and After will be able to secure the kill. Once again, a big, beefy team fight as they are going full out onto the teams, and that's going to be Twin Blast picking up a kill onto the Yin as they begin to chase him down. No Perk has the Seismic Assault readied up to re-engage as Taboo going the landmine. They will get the landmine off for the Seismic Assault, and the Bori picking up the kill this time as Elderstover going down as well. They're now just farming the enemy team more than anything else because the minions have spawned. It's now 10 seconds after the minions have hit each other in crashed waves into the lane.
Lebanese kid was able to respawn and get back into that fight. That's how long the match went on, and even though the respawn times are fairly low, for an engagement to go for that long means that everything now is going to be delayed. Jungle clears are going to be a few off, so they won't be hitting that level 3 at the 3-minute mark in time for the river buff. Mid laners leveling is going to be a little bit slower. They'll hit level 2 a little bit later, along with the off laners trying to get level 5. And we are seeing it is the phase in the off lane, not the Decker.
All right, and it's going to be phased offlane. That's a very interesting statement because FaZe doesn't have the instant stun that Decker does. She doesn't have... You can't utilize FaZe the way you'd want to, right?
She has the AoE blind, which is actually pretty good for clearing waves. Just do a little bit damage early to the waves to last hit. The range is also okay for FaZe. Will allow to get a couple of minion hits from a more safer position. However, Lebanese kid on a Narbash can just end the day of a phase with that thunk.
And I think this is where the dual lane of Maelstrom needs to take advantage of this pick that Bronze Army has done. On the left lane, we have a gank. Successful gank coming out of Cranky Trashcan once again. He's going to get his pickup on the Greystone. Buffs are spawning in 5 seconds. See what the first round of buffs are. Cranky could use the man, and he's looking to get that gank off in the mid lane as No Perk is still level 1. It's going to be a purple buff of all things. This could spell bad news bears for No Perk as he's running back in the mid lane looking to get something. Cranky quite literally standing beside him. No Perk actually ran into him, but for some reason is going to ignore him.
He wants Elderstover getting him at the recall
by the tier 2.
Lovely awareness though. What I'd really love to see here from Bronze Army is to start hitting that link if you have time. It doesn't look like that's the case. Lebanese kid has rotated. And
he does need help. Taboo's going to need the hand. He's going to get landmined back into safety. Now it's Cranky caught out in the jungle, possibly 3v1 as he's still wailing on that Amber Link instead of helping out his team. This could be bad news for him because Taboo doesn't have a lot of health to re-engage in that one. In the right lane, they're going to punish the FaZe off lane as she goes to re-engage, but she misses and hits the minion instead on the bump. And she actually doesn't secure the kill. Joshua now in a bit of trouble as it's going to be him, support versus support. Eldestova rotating as well. Thunk will miss. Eldestova there now using the light to help secure the kill, and it will be Zed overall securing the kill. Taking an extra good 10 to 20, like 10, 15 seconds more than they really needed to based on a misclick.
Yeah, they did manage to get in the end, which is all that matters, to be honest. Joshua is only at 5 last hits, whereas if we look at Ephraim Legends is at 8, 6 points, already a point lead in the offlane matchup. However, Ephraim Legend, when he hits level 5, will be really happy, whereas FaZe level 5, that boost isn't going to really keep her alive too much. It'll give her a little bit of regen in that offlane. However, that'll be it.
All right, and they're going to try and engage. The stasis bomb will miss onto the Greystone. And they do get the tower, though, which is more important. Ephraim Legend still only level 3, so this is a good opportunity for them to go onto Greystone and actually kind of make sure he stays down, prevent him from getting his ultimate. River spawning once again, going to be a purple-blue this time. Cranky Trashcan rotating into the mid lane. If he gets that rock off, all it needs to be is a landmine to get him out of that tower, and it could be bad. Once again, bad news for No Perk. Taboo opting. Oh, there's the seismic assault. There's the landmine. Cranky with the rock prepped as No Perk bounces off his head while he's invisible, and Secure will be taken by Cranky as he's going to just use the pounce to crunch the Bellica right under his feet.
Again, I love the ordering of the abilities here from the duo of Taboo and Cranky Trashcan. You use the mine first to displace them, get it into a good position, then the rock allows Taboo to then set up the rest of his abilities, get those mines placed down for the extra damage, and it makes it so that Bellica really can't do anything in that order. If you go for the rock, then the mine, you're kind of forced to use your spells while Bellica's under tower. Whereas if you do it the other way, you can do it outside the tower range, make her journey even more unbearable.
Yeah, and it's really, really important to get that down. Like, if you misplace that, like, all she needs to do is a seismic assault. One thing they did that's also important to mention is they waited for the knockup from the Bellica to come out first. As soon as they saw that, they're like, free engage, he's not going anywhere anymore, let's get him. And they did.
Yeah, I really like it, and it's actually giving Taboo an early game lead yet again, seeing at 11 points.
He's level 5, No Perk's level 3.
It's a 17 to 18 point lead, like farm lead already here for Taboo. He's doing incredibly well. He's managed to get that kill onto Eldestova as well, has helped him out tremendously. And again, we're seeing the similar sort of thing from the first game. He's going to start bullying out No Perk here, and Cranky is free to invade the jungle.
And he's going to jump in with the ultimate. He's going to miss the rock, so he has to back off. Engage will not be successful. However, we're getting a purple buff out of Taboo and a purple buff out of Cranky. This is going to put Maelstrom once again on the back foot, as they now have two invisible opponents roaming around looking to make some moves. They won't be able to get too far, though.
This duo, because Taboo is consistently being a bully in the lane, allows them to do things like this.
And they are going right in. Now there's the power to the FaZe off lane. Link drops down right away. Taboo's right there with the Ender of Dreams. It's going to be Yin Bullet burning her ultimate, not successfully to save out that Narbash. She gets knocked back up into safety, but Taboo just needs the one auto attack and is going to point the barrel of that rocket launcher in the mouth of Yin and pull the trigger.
It's the duo, as I was talking about, because of Taboo being really far ahead, because he's able to push out No Perk from lane time and time again, he's now free to rotate to either side of the map as he please. Is able to take these plays where he can get a couple more kills, which then snowballs his mid lane, makes it even more difficult for No Perk to be able to handle it. The matchup is pretty 50-50, to be honest, in terms of when they're equal points. Bellica, if she can get that drone into a good position, can actually punish a howitzer incredibly well, but when you fall behind, things like this will just happen time and time again. Especially
since Bellica's not able to level up her drone as effectively as she could. But I feel like she is, because that mana drain on Taboo was pretty hefty right about there. He wouldn't be able to get the secure if that drone wasn't down. Teams are backing right now. We are just a minute away from the first Raptor spawn. On builds, we are seeing Afro Legend build out an Imperium Mask. That's a new Flavor of the Month card that people are starting to pick up. They are really enjoying that one. Cranky Trashcan has sold out his Siphon, is going for that Mad Spore Sash. Joshua going for the Cast Converter as his first item in the offlane.
I like it in general because FaZe, you're not really going to be taking any 1v1s anytime soon. You're literally going to be building for the team the entire time. You're not going to really want to take any fights. You're just going to want to get these high value cards. It also gives you regen, so it's, even if you're not linked, you manage to get the bonus healing. Allows you to stay in lane a little bit longer, especially if you take a bit of damage, which I quite like from Joshua because he is in this offlane.
Team is looking to go over and invade on Taboo. However, he does use the landmine to peel himself away. Just 15 seconds away from Raptor spawns, and the teams are looking to make their picks to help secure the buff or secure the Raptors for themselves. As we just witnessed, a Thunk was missed just a few seconds ago. And now we are seeing the Raptors spawn. Miso Sneaky is there with Twin Blast and the Decker. Rampage their support. FaZe jumping in as well. Double support there. They're going to instantly burn those ones down. Not a whole lot Maelstrom is doing to stop it. They're just kind of ignoring it. They are waiting. They do notice Eldestova rotating in now as well. He's going to see if he can throw out the Judgment. Will not be able to really get it off because the second that root went down, there was going to be a triple stun coming out of Bronze Army, and that would have been a very dead Kwong.
I actually like the fact that Maelstrom recognize they can't take that fight. Being funneled through that sort of opening entrance into the Raptor with a Decker Howitzer and a Howitzer who's already incredibly far ahead would not have been in their favor. They didn't have the vision to wrap around either, so they decided to just give it up. It's one of those things where you have to recognize sometimes you can't take these fights. What they really need to do now is try and get picks on the map. However, they don't have the vision to do it. Even right now, Lebanese Kid is completely in vision of Bronze Army. They know exactly where he is, and you can already see Taboo is on the opposite side of the map, the other river, where he'll be safe.
And the Nabori is going to be picking up the black buff. Taboo looking to grab it, but not in time. On the right side of the map, Afro Legend in a lot of trouble. Is ultimately burned down as Joshua and Cranky Trashcan just sitting with that ultimate. And he's going to burn it off once again, bring it the health regen of Rampage back to full. That's going to be Cranky just running around securing those kills. Probably going to be a double kill for the jungler of Bronze Army. And it's going to be Joshua using the blind to secure his own kill. And this is where we see offlane phase being utilized correctly. The jungler just needs to come in. He can get pulled in by the phase, so he's instantly not having to burn his engagements or any of his gap closers. He's able to just do what he needs to do. And then having the Rampage being supercharged by Joshua on phase, like he had a double ultimate there. He used his own and then waited for it to run out, and then phase used his. In mid lane, once again, no perk, finally getting revenge onto Taboo. As Nabori is by himself against Lebanese Kid, still stuck inside the drone. There's the knockup going out. He's going to try and dash out of the way of the Void Bomb, but it will not be dropped. Drone finally going down. In the right lane, we have yet another engage as Cranky Trashcan and Joshua are back onto Afro Legend. The Rock is trying to get around the tower, but it will miss. Judgment of the Heavens going down to help out. Cranky still able to secure the kill with the power of Mad Spore Splash. On the other side of the map, we have Yin going down. So this game is not without action. Very bloody. Very, very bloody.
Taboo fall down in the mid lane. On the side of Bronze Army. However, that might not be enough. Taboo sitting at 19 points, already got a 5-point lead on the board, double Adden Edge, Sage's Ward complete, and Afro Legend as well. If we look at him on the offlane, he's managed to grab that Radiant Mantle, which we've been talking about, the Radiant Mantle Tainted Magic build. However, he's at 15 points. Joshua's on that phase offlane is already at 17 points. Has elected to not go for an early quenching skills, but instead go for a stasis, improve his own survivability when he's going for these fights, which I really like. He can pop some of the healing and regen while he's in that state with the active. When he's invincible, he can heal during it, which I really like, and it gives him a little bit more time there to give healing over to like Cranky Trashcan as we've been seeing. That duo, it's been unkillable.
Yeah, I think the utility cards coming out of off lane phase are going to be a little different from the support. Roughly the same, but slightly off. Oh my god, the damage coming out of Bronze Army. They're just ignoring the tower completely, diving it with impunity, and they're actually going to get the kill onto Bellica once again. It's going to be Maelstrom rotating late for their teammates. And now we're seeing Legend and Joshua get on that 1v1. This is where Greystone could have the opportunity to shine and get back up into lane. But I don't think they're going to use, I don't think Efra's going to really try and play around too much with that one. He's going to just go in the jungle and actually take the farm away from his jungler.
If we're just looking at card points, Cranky Trashcan is at 25 points as a jungler. He is incredibly far ahead. A good 9 points ahead of the Elder Stover. 606.
Oh my god.
Double ultimate amulet gives him a lot of health. He's nearly at 2k health. Just shy of 2k, I should say, and that makes him incredibly tough to kill. And we've already seen that combination with Joshua, with the cast converter being used, with the blind, with the ultimate, the boost of that attack speed gives him that extra rock as well with the reduced cooldown. I'm absolutely loving this duo combination.
There is the duo combination going out once again as the root and blind comes out of Joshua. He's going to help burn down the Greystone. Make it rain being dropped, as well as the crash bang boom. Decker Cage going out with the containment fence, catching Legend stuck between minions and the wall of the cage. Cranky now burning his ultimate, tries to secure the kill onto the Narbash, and he will use a rock to just crack some skulls and take down the drummer for Maelstrom. Elder Stover now caught under tower and is taboo to secure that kill. After trying to run away, Cranky going around the back just to make sure that no one will be left alive from Maelstrom. Cranky rotating as well, prepping the rock. Miso Sneaky engaging on him now as well, and the rock will go out, but Sneaky gets the job done. They're going to rotate right onto the Raptors after basically getting a full team wipe. The last one on the map is Noperk preparing himself with that seismic assault, seeing if he can get anything done, but I think this is a very bad play. Landmine goes out, just barely misses. Cranky jumping up, missed the stasis bomb from Nabori, but the rock will connect, and that is going to be the end of Bellica's life. Getting a little too greedy, being in a place she did not belong at all.
Yeah, just being greedy. It has been the name of the game, I think, a little bit, because of how far ahead Bronze Army are. Maelstrom have to go for them. They kind of got their hands forced. They have to overextend. They have to go for the bigger risk plays. They get more and more desperate as the game goes because the lead is ever slowly growing in the favor of Bronze Army. And as that happens, you can't just sit and watch. You have to make greater risk plays because you need that greater reward that comes from it to be able to win equal matches. You want to be able to win the 5v5s. And so they're forced to go for them. But again, they end up getting punished for it time and time again. It's not being executed ideally. And Bronze Army are prepared for it every single time.
And if you're looking for an indication of what the state of the game truly is, right now, both supports on Bronze Army are more carded than more than half of Maelstrom's team. And that's not good, because the support's not going to get any cards through the game. So when your support is more carded than the rest of your team, you're looking at some issues. And the only thing that's going to save you is a nice prime steal, a nice raptor pick. You know, you got to find those good fights to help you get back into the game. It's really just that, like, reckless abandon you need to get alive. Now they're just jumping onto Nabori, but he's able to get away once again as we see Maelstrom struggling to get something for themselves.
Yeah, there isn't anything for them to take at this point in time. Everything they've tried to has ended up getting punished. What they really need is more wards, deeper wards. At the moment, they just got these defensive wards for the most part. Nothing sort of aggressive in the enemy jungle, so they aren't able to see any of these rotations. And it's allowed Cranky to just walk around the map freely. He can he can walk around his side of the map. No one will know where he is. He can then go deep into the jungle. And at that point, those wards are a bit too late.
All right, and they're going to look down to take the tier 1 of Maelstrom. That thing was up for 18 minutes. Similarly, we saw last game where we saw Bronze Army not prioritizing the towers too much, kind of just waiting them out, waiting till they have the advantage on the team fights, just flex the muscle and take the towers whenever they so chose later on in the game. River buffs are spawning in 10 seconds, and there is actually 3 people just sitting on the right while they have the enemy team hovering around the corner. Blue buff will be the one that's up there waiting for no perk to try and land it. They will miss. And it's going to be Cranky Trash Can with that blue buff and the phase right behind him. Blind goes out, the root from the energy lance and the rock to secure it. But the thunk from the Narbash is going to help out and peel for the Greystone. Team now trying to control the enemy jungle. And they are able to. Now they're rotating right for Prime. Maelstrom knows it's happening, but there's a yin on the other side of the map because all the waves were set for Bronze Army. Not a whole lot they can do. The only real save they have is maybe the Kwang going in with the Fury of the Heavens to secure it with the ultimate. The Decker Cage goes out to zone out, and Kwang throws the sword, ults into 5. Very bad news. Suction Assault trying to help him out, but won't be enough as the primed up Bronze Army is there to secure the job. No perk does manage to secure the ADC just before he goes down, but it's still a 3-for-1 trade. They don't need Sneaky to take tower. They have Cranky, they have Taboo, and they have 2 supports to make sure they stay alive.
Meanwhile, I Eat Zed for brunch is just sitting here in this lane, wasn't involved at all. Throwing it. Afro Legend might be falling as well.
Oh, he tries to jump up and the landmine pops him back down. He's going down. That's going to be inhibitor. Sorry to cut you off. That's just good.
Game? Like, that's going to be the interesting thing. Will they have time? I don't know if they have time to do it. I think it is going to just be this inhibitor. We do see Zephyrpunch trying to fight Joshua here.
And Josh wins!
Losing to a phase right now. The healing is way too much, and he did end up tanking that tower. And also, there is a Tainted Magic phase. I love this build from phase. It's one of my personal favorites. Because the Energy Lance can reset the Tainted Magic proc every single point of damage, you actually do a lot over the course of the whole Energy Lance.
The Energy Lance for like 4 seconds, so you're getting 2% max health, current HP damage, sorry, for 4 seconds, and then the other 8% after that. So that's a long time. That's a lot of damage, and it's not uncommon to actually see in solo queue a lot of phases building thick blood and tainted magic, and then out damaging the entirety of the team.
You see it a lot because it's a solo queue mentality. You want to be able to have a much bigger impact. And this is the tower dive on the second inhibitor.
And that is going to be a 3-man ult coming out of Taboo, just completely obliterating the enemy team. Maelstrom, more looking like a light drizzle. As they're now losing a second inhibitor. It's going down. Ephra's going down with that inhib. And Zed's the last one alive to get caught out by the Energy Lance, the root. Taboo to finish the job. That is a full ace for Bronze Army. And they're going to move on to the semifinals tomorrow.
I just love the little pullback from Joshua onto Taboo. Just like, nope, you're not hitting the core for a few more seconds.
And that is it. Bronze Army taking it away. 22 minutes, 30 seconds. Completely